Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. And today, I would like to review Alien 3. Of course.
Creepy. You're getting downright predictable.
Put the movie down, Decker. We've got work to do.
Oh, come on, haven't you tortured me enough?
Evidently not. When was the last time you brought up the Patreon page to your audience?
Well, I don't want to shove it down their throats.
Well, I kind of want it to be successful.
Fine, I'll point them to the page so they can help raise the funds for Gamerathon 3. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to review Alien 3.
That's not good enough, I'm afraid. No, today we're reviewing 8 Man. Specifically, the live-action movie from 1992. Of course, it must be noted that 8 Man started as a manga series in 1963. This means, despite strong similarities to Robocop and perhaps Mega Man, 8 Man predates those by quite a margin.
What about Mighty Number 9?
That project started last year. It isn't even out yet. Yes, 8 Man came first.
It's like every episode we do together, he somehow gets dumber.
Whatever, if that's what we're in for today, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Really?
Yeah! Awesome mecha cops in Japan battling evil with... Hey, wait, are there any naked women in this one?
No, there aren't. In fact, it hardly has anything you were rambling on about. The 92 film adaptation left a bad impression for many reasons. Aside from looking like a poor man's Robocop, 8 Man didn't do well with established fans of the series either, as several key plot points were changed, and it's pretty safe to say that none of them were for the better.
What are you talking about? How can you possibly fuck up awesome mecha police?
You've never seen Robocop 3, have you?
Oh well, if you're that excited, why don't you give the opening line?
With pleasure. Now, let's take a look at 8 Men. 8 Man.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have that DVD around here somewhere.
Too late, the movie's starting, and it's for all lonely nights. Wait, you didn't already switch the DVDs on me, did you?
No, Decker. This is the English version of the movie. As you may remember, in 1992, Japanese to English translations were... what's the word?
Horrible? Terrifying? Ungodly?
I was thinking notoriously inaccurate.
Anyway, on with the movie, which begins someplace in Tokyo. Not only incredibly vague, but the visuals don't help much. What the hell am I looking at?
Oh, don't start complaining already. If you made it through Requiem, you can handle this.
Anyone will tell you it's tough being a cop. Here's what they don't know. It's twice as tough when you're part human, part machine.
Funny, you'd think that'd be easier.
Not if you're part human, part Xerox. This drug deal introduces us to our big hero bot, 8 Man, played by Toshihide Wakamatsu.
Okay, is this one of his superpowers, or is it just the incredibly shitty lighting that's making it hard to tell what the hell's going on?
A little from column A, a little from column B. Taken by surprise, thanks to his super speed, the villain attempts to flee in his car, safely under the speed limit.
And he assumes this will work. Why?
Furthermore, despite being a bad guy and having already tried to kill the man, he now crashes his car in an attempt to avoid running the hero over.
Our villain, ladies and gentlemen! Now all that's left is to arrest the man, but of course Windows 8 Man starts bugging the fuck out, leaving him at the mercy of bullets, which somehow damage him. You would think, with him being a cybernetically enhanced super cop, little things like Kevlar would be well within budget.
You know things are getting bad when the Japanese police have to cut back on their robotic cop program.
This scene is just to grab your attention, as the movie suddenly shifts to the actual start of events, which just so happens to also take place on a very dark night, somewhere in Tokyo. The police have just busted a drug lab, but of course there's still something to complain about.
Do I have to paint you a picture we didn't get Yamafuji?
Hey, maybe you did. It's still a little bit early to tell, and really hard to see what's going on.
What, were they expecting him to be hanging around a miscellaneous drug lab just in time for their raid? Chief Tanaka and Detective Yokota stay behind to shoot the breeze, and Tanaka mentions how he's getting too old for this shit.
I've worked it out. We'll be retiring to my wife's hometown.
Easy enough, he's dead.
It's not quite that simple.
Yes, it is. The old mentor cop talks about retiring to live a happy life, and then the bad guy shows up to waste him.
No, they don't.
You bastard!
They kill Yokota, not Tanaka.
Well, that's bullshit! He didn't say a word about retiring! Or having a wife. Or any family at all!
I thought you'd appreciate the movie going against this cliche.
Well, that's not just a cliche, that's a rule!
With Yokota dead, Tanaka takes the body, but before reaching a hospital decides what the hell and instead drives him to a scientist who conveniently has an experimental procedure to create cyborgs and has everything he needs to do it outside of the corpse.
As it turned out, Yokota was just what the professor was looking for. It was a slow process, but within 2 years he was able to resurrect him as an organic robot with an electronic brain.
People in the 90s thought that CD-ROM load times were bad.
Oh, if that's what took so long, I'm pretty sure my phone can complete all the computations in less than a minute. It takes another year to train him, which makes me wonder why they didn't just include that in his programming, but in any case, they wiped his memory as well, just to ensure that he doesn't go apeshit about losing his humanity.
Professor Tani thought we should name him 8-Man. It meant he served none of the 7 divisions within the Tokyo Police Department. He was independent and free to be used where needed.
And not that he's the 8th robot this man has made. Not at all.
Actually, no, not at all. At least not according to this version of events.
What? Okay, I'm willing to deal with them erasing his memory instead of him just keeping his robo-side secret from his girlfriend like in the original. But how the fuck do you fuck up him being the 8th fucking robot when he's got a fucking 8 emblazoned on his fucking chest?
It's not as bad as when the original series was brought to America and they renamed him Tobor.
Because spelling things backwards is so clever. And here I was thinking of renaming myself Urthut.
Here they rename him Azuma, post-Robo-Resurrection. Coincidentally enough, his now ex-girlfriend, who believes him to have died 3 years ago, just got the job to be his new secretary.
8-Man's first assignment quickly demonstrated how effective he could be.
Ready.
A gang of crackheads invaded a local theater and were holding a 6-year-old girl for ransom.
The fuck?
What? He has to establish his skills somehow.
Who cares about that? The crackheads are holding a 6-year-old girl hostage for ransom? That's not what crackheads do. They'd sell those guns on the street to buy more crack.
In movies about cyborg crime fighters, you find the strangest things to complain about.
Oh, wait. Did he shoot her or miss?
He missed. I know. Just our luck that the crackheads are hiding out in the worst lit theater in all of Japan.
But fear not. 8-Man is here to jog lightly to her aid, making his way through several well-lit areas before finally stopping at the only shaded spot in the building.
What are you, man? You a pool table? You the 8-ball, man? Well, guess what, man?
Hey, you're funny, man. Hey, man, you got some change, man? I'll sell you this gun, man.
Their ransom is for several $1 million.
Well, and why do they sell car stereos for $1.50?
Their bullets do nothing as the android catches them, and then we abruptly cut to his victory. Such a job well done is its own reward, but let's not have that stop him.
Nobody told me robots could smoke. Whoa.
Really? Have you ever tried overclocking a PC?
However, this is an important feature of 8-Man, as the cigarettes are his coolant system.
Fucking really?
What? That's been one of 8-Man's character traits since forever. He has special cigarettes that prevent his robotic body from overheating.
But they changed so much in this movie already. Why is it the one thing you'd think they changed for the sake of not corrupting the youth, they actually leave intact?
I see your point. There's a reason the Flintstones promote cereals and vitamins now, as opposed to their original vices.
How's about taking that? I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it! Winston! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend for you, Fred.
That, and do you have any idea how hard it is to find a match in the Stone Age?
Anyway, this is his partner Sawaki, played by Daisuke Shima. Ironically enough, he was also Yokoda's partner as well.
He'd be here now if it wasn't for Yamafuji. Someday he'll pay.
And he's as good as dead.
Who knows? You were wrong last time.
Oh, no. Someday he'll pay. Oh, yes, he's dead.
We take a break from that to cover the fact that despite his odd numbering system, in this film there was at least one cyborg the Doctor made prior to 8-Man, that being his own son, who kept his memories and therefore went mad and enjoys killing every now and again.
Ken! It's the third time this month. You've got to stop.
Why stop now? The police haven't even brought these killings up. He's fine!
While he's in there, he finds out about 8-Man and his electronic brain. So, that's enough exposition for now. Let's watch people make drugs under a black light, set to random people walking by in a negative filter. I mean, it's not like it's any harder to make out than the rest of this movie.
Damn. At least he figured a quick way to get out of this.
After the crime lords conduct a business deal in darkness, which it seems is how everything is done in this world, Sawaki details the ins and outs of his undercover operation against Yamafuji to Azuma. The topic goes to relationships, and Sawaki mentions he has feelings for Yokoda's ex-girlfriend, Sachiko. Speaking about love to a robot doesn't really go anywhere, so he leaves him. In a manner that is very underwhelming.
Honestly, if he had gone all the way to another pitch-black set, I'm pretty sure I couldn't tell the difference. But nevertheless, he loves Sachiko, and therefore he will die. Not to say 8-Man's doing much better, as Ken interrupts him driving, at night of course, to sow the seeds of doubt in the cyborg. This brings us back to the dark, unknown location the movie decided to start in, and tells us that's what caused 8-Man to forget how to deal with bullets. He was suffering from the feels. Don't worry though, he'll be fine. He's smoking already.
He's dying.
Just pick up a 9-man 4G model. We can finish the movie in under 5 minutes with that.
They managed to easily repair him with the power of a laser light show, and explain the fact that the Doctor's son was resurrected earlier to be the villain of this movie, along with one more caveat.
I want you to kill my son, Ken.
Please! Next to nothing has happened for the last 20 minutes! This film needs some action!
Well, you're going to have to wait. Nobody seems too enthusiastic towards starting a fight just yet.
Yeah, you're just suffering from robo-motions, leaving you to doubt the meaning of your own existence. And you have to go off and feel sorry for yourself over the fact that you can't feel sorry anymore. What? So all the characters feel like shit, alone in dark rooms. But Sawaki is instead alone in a dark alley, and calls Sachiko again to establish he has feelings for her, but doesn't say anything. Which establishes, yet again, yes, he will be killed. Hot damn, pay dirt!
What's wrong?
I was waiting all movie for him to die. It was actually pretty exciting because of how boring everything was, and that was it.
And now you're left just looking like an asshole. Look on the bright side. They actually conduct the funeral scene during the day, so we get to see this part of the movie. And it tries really hard to be artistic. Look at Azuma. He can't light his cigarette because of the feels. How moving. And look at Sachiko, the only person there with a white umbrella going right, while everyone else in the world has a black umbrella going left. So profound. And just listen to the music.
Oh, come on, they don't need to be so oppressively artistic. The whole movie has been so dull up to this point. You could do anything to this music and it would look meaningful. Just be sure to do it slowly and look depressed. What, is this movie jealous we did it better? Now that that's over with, this film can get back to doing what it does best, having all the characters stare at each other in silence in a dark room. They're sure to turn the light back on before they leave, though.
It's no wonder the cyborgs keep malfunctioning. Do these people have any idea how electronic devices are supposed to work?
As it's been an hour, the characters decide it's time that they got Act 3 started.
Where we left off 3 years ago.
Finally! He remembered he was supposed to kill the mentor in the Hero Cop storyline.
He mentioned 3 years ago. Then he shot him in the arm.
Oh, of fucking course!
This brings the man face to face with Yamafuji, back at the docks where Yokota was shot. As according to Yamafuji, Decker was right, and they actually meant to kill Tanaka.
You should have died 3 years ago, on this very spot.
I told you!
Don't blame me. Sniper's the one who screwed up.
Wait, who?
Sniper, the character played by Mickey Cyrus.
Fucking hell! Excuse me while I have an aneurysm trying to figure out how Sniper managed to shoot the wrong fucking guy! But Azuma is here to save the day, strangely able to drive into the middle of the confrontation, screwing everything up without getting shot. This brings us to the last thing you'd expect out of this movie, a shootout. Things are still hard to make out in the darkness, but it's not bad, honestly. The tension gets to the point where this starts reminding me of the Dick Tracy movie.
Decker, you do realize that Dick Tracy wasn't exactly a good...
It's still better!
Anyway, Tanaka corners Yamafuji, but the crime lord makes out like he's turning himself in, which everyone knows will only lead him to getting back on the streets thanks to convenient corruption in his favor. Therefore, Ken uses his telekinesis technology to force the situation, leading to Yamafuji's death because... he's a good evil cyborg?
Or at least he let us get past that damn plot point after we sat on it for the last hour. But oh no! He kidnapped Sachiko under the cover of shitty lighting. Don't worry though, he calls our hero to let him know where the climax is taking place. Okay, why the fuck?
That's easy. He wants to die.
You know, there are much easier ways to go about this.
I've been willing to help him solve that problem all movie.
This does bring us to our final confrontation, set conveniently enough in a graveyard.
Because he wants to die.
It does make me wonder why so many action movies that end on getting the girl don't have their climax take place in a sex shop.
Or they get enough climaxes on their own.
Nevertheless, the final battle is underway. A supersonic game of hide and seek, which leads to them flying. Or performing mid-air ballet. I don't remember them covering that ability in their character descriptions earlier.
Don't worry, they have another one a bit more up your alley.
Did the graves just spontaneously explode?
Yup.
Well, you're right, I do like that better.
So what's next? One of them attacks with a ukulele while the other river dances up an earthquake?
No, Ken's dad reveals that his boy is weak to headshots, which should have been relatively obvious, so 8-Man... takes him out with some of the worst visual effects the 90s had to offer.
It's a pretty fitting climax, culmination of predictability, boredom, and disappointment. Thus, our story comes to a close as 8-Man picks Ken up and walks in place in front of a blue screen while the background pans behind him. And we learn that Ken wanted to die. Therefore, yes, the entire movie could have been covered in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, Sachiko is just lying there. She's not dead, but oh dear, these woman things, they just can't seem to maintain consciousness during action sequences.
Shyamalan twist! Sachiko is actually 7-woman and is overheating from not sitting in a dark room as long as possible.
Don't even joke.
That was boring. Boring as fucking hell. Who knew that a film about a super half-robot police officer could have the power to put you to sleep? I'm not intimately familiar with the original 8-Man manga or anime, no, but from what research I did in preparation for this review, this movie didn't exactly do a great job representing that either. But it's not the potential inconsistencies that really bother me here. What matters most in a movie is entertainment, as I always say, and that was severely lacking in this production. For starters, the whole thing was so damn dark I couldn't make out most of what was going on. No, the quality of the print wasn't spectacular either, but even if it were, how much could it have possibly helped? But the biggest crime to me is just how boring it all was. Nothing feels big, not much happens, and you wait out the running time as the characters go over the same plot points over and over in dark rooms doing jack shit about whatever the situation is. So, overall, I'm afraid I have to give 8-Man 1 headshot out of 5. There are much better ways to spend an afternoon.
Ditto.
Oh, what the fuck?
I honestly can't think of anything else to add. You summed up everything I could have said about this film nicely. Speaking of which, even though I picked this one specifically to punish you, I should probably be a little more careful considering I ended up in the crossfire.
Don't forget about me, you short-sighted jerk.
Okay, point taken. What the hell do you want from me?
Plug the Patreon campaign for Gamerathon 3, or else.
Or else what? Please check out the Patreon link in the description below. Please.
That's better.
Oh, Creepy, we should try using this to get those videos of him.
Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado. And remember, smoke too much and you'll wind up with an iron lung. Or is that the other way around?